Bloomington's mayor and some residents are at odds over whether to close a portion of a road to vehicle traffic in order to provide better connectivity to the city's major parks. The mayor is finishing up his last term. He wants to push through changes to Old State Road 37 before he leaves office. But some residents don't understand why he's reopening the debate over Lower Cascades Park that they thought was settled. The mayor's staff presented its proposal to the city council this week, and as Lucas Gonzalez reports, it's the first time we've seen the proposal explained on paper.
Here at Lower Cascades Park, Mayor John Hamilton wants to close a portion of this road and make it a biker pedestrian trail. But many people say they like it just the way it is. Dozens of people gathered at the Northside Park Saturday to voice opposition to Hamilton's plan to restrict driver access to part of the road. Hamilton wants to close a roughly half-mile stretch between Clubhouse Drive and North College Avenue at Miller Showers Park for a new trail. It's part of his administration's plan to establish a path connecting the city's major parks. The road, which runs all the way through Lower Cascades, is how many say they access the park and navigate through town during major sporting events. David Bowden, who attended the weekend rally, says Hamilton's plan would impede access for elderly and mobility-restricted visitors.
We plead with Mayor Hamilton to consider the fact that it's not going to benefit a lot of people to close it. And it's going to hurt a lot of us, and we're going to really be frustrated.
Many believe Hamilton's plan favors non-drivers. Others say a partial road closure would impede first responders' ability to get to emergencies on time. Attendee Jamie Scholl says Hamilton's not listening to those who say they want the road untouched.
The townies, those who grew up here, like myself, often feel they're ignored, and those I've talked to do not want the road closed.
Hamilton's plan goes against his own staff's recommendation to keep the road open to drivers. That recommendation followed a community survey and pilot study on closing the road. Critics of Hamilton's plan also say it ignores the results of a survey taken during the pilot project. Most respondents preferred keeping all lanes of the road open to drivers, as opposed to closing one or both lanes. Most of the rally attendees opposed Hamilton's plan and supported leaving the road as it is, but there were some detractors. Greg Alexander, who serves on the city's traffic commission, says the road is not safe for bicyclists or pedestrians, despite it having speed bumps.
I want the path to be open for bike and ped, for my kids, because my kids have actually come to this park a lot less than they could, because we met this barrier of about a mile roadway that's not a safe place to walk.
Alexander was the only one to speak so adamantly against leaving the road open. Others, including City Council member Isabel Piedmont Smith, spoke favorably of Hamilton's plan, but didn't explicitly reject the other options. Piedmont Smith took the podium to clarify that Hamilton wants to close only part of the road to drivers, not entirely remove driver access to the park.
Accessibility is not just cars, and public rights of way are not just to get cars around, but to get people around in various ways that they might choose to get around.
After Piedmont Smith spoke, several attendees argued with her point and spoke over her all at once. Someone eventually interrupted, urging the crowd to let her finish. And at one point, she responded to an attendee who asked her to explicitly state her position.
You said you wouldn't say whether you're for or against it. Why won't you? You're on the council.
Well, because I'm looking out here and I see pitchforks.
To date, Hamilton has not submitted a formal proposal for his plan to City Council. The organizers of the Saturday rally say they want as many people as possible to voice their opinions at future City Council meetings. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Lucas Gonzalez.
Now, the city presented 4 options for the council to consider at this week's meeting: convert the road to a trail, keep the road as it is, make it part one-way for drivers and part multi-purpose trail, or build a new separated path. Many opponents to Hamilton's plan express support for building a separated multi-purpose path. The city estimates that option would cost about $3 million. It says a road conversion would cost significantly less, though it has not given a cost estimate. Mayor Hamilton or the council itself may get the wheels turning on a vote, Hamilton by submitting a proposal or a council member by sponsoring an ordinance or resolution. Now, either way, draft legislation proposed either by Hamilton or by a council member would have to be introduced in a first reading at a later meeting.